Hey there, how are you? Let me just turn this camera around. That's my exciting office wall. Hey there, it's Gus Wagner with the Rocket Group, as you can see over my shoulder here. And there's a little Dixieland delight. Tonight we're listening to the Old Crow Medicine Show. Hey there, Lynn Huron. How you doing? Thanks for jumping in here. So we're going to talk more about LinkedIn today, and we're in this 31 days of LinkedIn content effort that we're doing. We're more than halfway through December. I think this is the 19th post of the 31 days of LinkedIn. And let me tell you what the headline, of course, was sharing content on LinkedIn. Sharing content on LinkedIn effectively. That's the most recent blog post, which is up on rocketgroupllc.com. If you go there to the website rocketgroupllc.com, Google Rocket Group, and it'll come up. Let me give you the too long didn't read snippet here, why you should care about this right off the top. As we've discussed throughout this thing, you should be doing something all the time with LinkedIn. The more you do something on LinkedIn, the better off you're going to be than your competition and most of your peers, because most of us are just lurking when it comes to LinkedIn. So you should be using some or all of the publishing options that LinkedIn puts available to you, 4 or 5 publishing options that LinkedIn puts out to you. What's available to you. Use these tools because they are there, they are available, they are underused by your peers and your competition, and it's going to help you to stand out on LinkedIn, whether you're seeking a job, whether you're seeking recognition, whether you're seeking awareness for yourself and your efforts, your skills, your company, what have you. The more you use these tools, the better off you're going to be. I can't say that enough, can I? So you should also be prepared. You should also be prepared for some frustration along the way because of the lurking audience. Maybe your views won't be there as high. Maybe your interaction won't be as high as on some other platforms. But I think that the audience that you're trying to reach, that you are reaching on LinkedIn, is much, much more powerful to you than many of the other social media platforms. So let's go through this real quick. You've got to be distributing. You should be distributing your content through the LinkedIn channels, and we're going to talk about the 5 different options that you can use to do so. And the first one, of course, is just updates through your regular personal profile. Just making posts. They call it updates. Share an update on LinkedIn. Works just like Facebook. You post something, you write something in the comment box, you drop a link in there, it opens up a preview. You can put in your comments in there, your links, your hashtags, what have you, and then you can publish it, and that will go into the timeline of your connections. And whether those folks are online, then they see it there on LinkedIn. When they're online, they will see that if they are there, or most of them will see it if they are there. And also, too, that there will be the proactive actions of LinkedIn through their Pulse network, through the daily email updates and such. Some of that content, not all of that content, some of that content will get through into those email updates if the people open those up as well. So check that out. Just regular making updates through your personal profile. Another step you can take, again, this is a little extra heavy lifting for you, but updates to your business page, through your business profile. You've set up a business page on LinkedIn, most likely. It's just almost identically to the process and the functions of the Facebook business page. Again, learn from the best, I guess, or learn from the biggest. You've got your page there. We've got a Rocket Group page. It's got so many dust balls and dust bunnies on it, you'd be surprised. But you can share that update through there. And that's what's going to be frustrating there, is it's not going to go out to all your connections. It's only going to go out to the people that are following you, following that business page on LinkedIn. So if you have 0 followers, there's not going to be anybody that sees it there. But if somebody does search for you, finds that LinkedIn page, and that content is there, it does look like you're alive. If you went to the Rocket Group page right now, I don't know the last time that we really made an effort to that page, but we will be making an effort coming up in these 31 days of LinkedIn to that business page as well. should also, as we've discussed before and again in these Periscope videos, use the LinkedIn groups. You're joining the groups that are based on your geography, your profession, your industry, your specialties, what have you. We're in like a bunch of social media groups. We're in a bunch of marketing groups. We're in a bunch of Mid-Missouri groups. You can share your content into there. Now, don't go in there and just start dumping links and blasting these people out with information. Earn the right to sell to these people. Interact with other people's contents that's there. If the group is inactive, maybe you shouldn't even mess with it. We've got several groups like that we're members of that we probably shouldn't even mess with, but one or two people keep it on life support, so it's still there. But if you go out there and you interact with these people, you interact with the fellow group members, you're going to earn the right to be able to put out your material. And if your material is educating, informing, or entertaining these folks, you're going to be much better off. If you're putting a bunch of selly stuff out there, you're going to be less well off than the other course of action. So utilize your LinkedIn groups. Publishing your content on LinkedIn Pulse or Publisher or whatever you want to call it, the blog feature of LinkedIn. This is something we've been doing more frequently in the last couple months, especially leading up to this 31 days of LinkedIn. You didn't think I had a strategy to this whole thing. You thought I was just doing it, didn't you? Hey, Brian, what's going on, man? So anyway, publish that information out there to the LinkedIn Pulse, to that publisher, to that blog post. Take advantage of that information that's going on out there, that category. Now, those posts are going to get a notification. All your connections are going to. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I've done it. Thanks for jumping in. I've done it to you plenty of times across all your various video platforms. Appreciate that. We're talking about some LinkedIn here. We've got a campaign going. It's called 31 Days of LinkedIn. I don't know if you noticed it, but we're just trying to do better ourselves. With LinkedIn and bring some other folks with us. So you're doing a good job. Maybe some of your followers will enjoy this content as well. Hashtag 31 Days of LinkedIn across the social media platforms and on the Rocket Group, LLC.com. Hey there, Deeper. How are you? T-Dog, what's going on? Anthony, thank you for inviting your followers. We're talking about LinkedIn here, the hashtag 31 Days of LinkedIn. Appreciate everybody jumping in here in a second. You can go to rocketgroupllc.com to see this full blog post. Today we're talking about posting content to the various LinkedIn pages. Hey, Toronto, how's it going? I'm here in Jefferson City, Missouri, broadcasting about LinkedIn tonight. Good to see you guys. Thanks everybody for jumping in. So appreciate you inviting your followers there, Creative. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about, we just got done talking about the Pulse feature. Appreciate the hearts there, guys. Talking about the LinkedIn Pulse, the publisher, whatever you want to call that. Utilize that because that gives a notification out to all of your connections. That little red flag notification at the top of your page, that goes out to everybody. Just when somebody publishes to one of your notifications, one of your connections posts something, you get a little red flag. The same thing happens when you publish something. They get one, they can go and click it, they can ignore it, they can like it, they can comment, they can share on it, same as always. There's a lot of love in this room tonight. I appreciate that, gang. And finally, the last thing you can do with the LinkedIn comment is the LinkedIn content is to pay. You can pay to push your posts out, just like you can boost a Facebook post or advertise or put some money behind a Twitter tweet. You can do the same thing on LinkedIn. Our experience has shown that the LinkedIn hey, Brian, appreciate that kind word, man. I need to screenshot that or something. My experience doing marketing for the Rocket Group, doing marketing for our clients, how do we target our content on LinkedIn? That's a good question there, and we'll get to that there in a second there, Deeper. Hang on one second. I found it to be 10 times at least as expensive as advertising on Facebook, as advertising on the other platforms. If it's going to cost $1 on Facebook, it's going to cost $10 on the LinkedIn to publish or to promote a post, to advertise on LinkedIn. Again, it's got all the demographics, it's highly targetable, it's got everything that's going on with all the other social media platforms. Two drawbacks is first, like I mentioned, the cost. The second is the lackadaisical audience that is on LinkedIn for the most part, those lurkers out there. Maybe they're not engaging with the LinkedIn content or engaging with LinkedIn itself as much as they should be. So your audience is going to be much smaller and much less active. So I don't know that if you're just got a general piece of content, unless you got $1 million to burn or $10 to burn, I don't know if pushing advertising dollars behind LinkedIn posts, just general content, is the best avenue for you. Work your connections, work what you've got going first before you even think about investing in there. LinkedIn does make plenty of money. Their stock price is like above $200 a share right now, or it was the other day when I looked. So they've got plenty of cash. Appreciate the hearts. Hey there, Tess. How you doing? So again, the too long didn't read on this is that you should be using some or all of the LinkedIn publishing content tools that are available to you. You've got to go out there and use those tools. Just having the profile on LinkedIn is not enough. Be active, be engaged on LinkedIn, because your peers, your competition most likely are not, and it's a universe of people that could potentially do business with you, could potentially help you professionally, could potentially help you personally to succeed. So again, hashtag 31 days of LinkedIn. Look for that across the Twitter, across the Facebook, across the LinkedIn, and at the rocketgroupllc.com blog. I'm Gus Wagner. I appreciate all you guys jumping in. So we do these every day. At least that's our goal. Sometimes we do more than one a day. But feel free to jump in. Give us a follow at Rocket Group on the Periscope right here, at Rocket Group on the Twitter. And rocketgroupllc.com is the website with all the social media links on there as well. So I appreciate your comments, your hearts, you're logging into this Periscope. Brian, thank you for sharing this out. This has been the biggest one so far. I look forward to growing this Periscope audience even further. So thanks a lot, guys. Any questions, comments, LinkedIn obstacles, send them our way as well. We'll tackle them in future 31 days of LinkedIn posts. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.